So today I'm talking about my 5 top reasons for why you need to have a separate business account from your personal bank account. Now, some of you might be thinking this is really elementary, and I think it is too. However, there are still so many people who have their business and their personal income together in one account. So I wanted to make sure I talked about my 5 top reasons why you should separate them, because clearly it's although it's elementary, so many people are still doing it. And this actually came up because I'm working with a barber right now. I'm doing a 3-year cleanup on his finances for his business, and he already has his business bank accounts open, but before he starts fresh with his business bank account, he wanted me to look at the last 3 years just to get him caught up so that he can really start fresh with these business bank accounts. So that's why I came up, and I know he's not alone. I know there are so many of you out there who still have your personal funds and your business funds together. So that's why I wanted to come to you and bring you my top 5 reasons. So let me just jump right on in. The number one reason that you want to make sure that your business funds and your personal funds are separate is because you want to know how much money is coming from that business. So the barber that I'm working with, he had income from other sources. So we had to sift through what was from barbering and what was from other sources. And of course, that makes things really complicated. You want to make sure you know exactly how much money you're coming in from barbering. That's going to help you make a lot of different decisions. So that's number one. Number 2 reason is that you want to project cash flow. When I had my hair salon, my girls were on salary. And we had different seasons. And I know this is true for any business, and especially in the hair industry. We have high seasons and low seasons. So when you know when those seasons are about to hit, because you can look at your history, then you know how to make adjustments. So you want to make sure that that your funds are completely separate for that reason. Things can get a little confusing, and you may have a hard time distinguishing slow months from really popular months if your funds are commingled, and especially if you have other sources of income. So that's reason number 2. Reason number 3 is you want to avoid overspending. So if let's say you want a new TV, and it's not for your business, but it's for personal. This is for your home. And you're looking at your bank account and you're like, oh yeah, I have tons of money. But you're not taking into consideration that you have expenses that are going to come out of that account for your business. Then that's an overstatement of money that's actually already allocated somewhere else. So making sure that your business income is separate from your personal, you'll avoid any of those mistakes, because you already know that if it has not been transferred to your personal account, then it's not for you to use personally. So that was reason number 3. Reason number 4 is it creates a clear audit trail. So if any of you have ever been part of an IRS audit, you know it is painful. It is a beast. And one of the main things that the audit trail will help you with is allocating what came in from your business and what went out as far as expenses, or if it's compensation for you, the owner, or if you have employees, where that money went. Now, one thing about an audit trail, in the event of the barber that I'm working with, let's say, remember, he has income coming in from other sources. So in that trail, the IRS, they would take all of that money and say, okay, yes, this is coming from your business that you were running. So he wouldn't be able to say, yeah, this is from somewhere else. They're going to reconstruct his finances and take every income, every deposit as it came from that particular business operation. And then the 5th and final reason that I suggest making sure that your business bank account and your personal bank account is separate is because you want the ability to generate your financial statements Ideally, this is happening every month, and those statements that I'm talking about are your balance sheet, your statement of income, that's your profit and loss, and then your statement of cash flows. So with those statements, you'll always know the health of your business, how things are going. And then if you ever go for a loan, those are the three statements that they will ask you for. If not all three, at least one of them for sure. So you want to make sure that you're able to run those financial reports, and it's almost impossible if your funds are commingled. Now, what else? I wanted to make sure that I also told you about how this will make your life so much easier at the end of the year for tax time. If you don't have to go through all of your transactions and saying, okay, this was personal and this was business. You won't have to do that. Everything that you're looking at, you'll already know, okay, just how do I categorize it? I know this was for my business, so what category does it go into? So that's my top reason. So I guess it was 6 and not 5. But again, not everybody does it, and no judgment, right? If you still have your money commingled, no judgment here. Just make sure that you get a business bank account. And if you're brand new and you're like, Jennifer, I'm just starting out, is it really necessary? It is, but I will say, if you don't have an EIN, because you will need an EIN to get a business bank account, if you're just starting out, just get a separate personal bank account. I'm just asking that you keep the funds completely separate. So if you have a personal bank account, but you only have your business operating out of it, then it's the same exact thing. You can just use that bank account. So that is what I'm suggesting. I'm hoping that this has been helpful. And if you already knew that your funds should have been separate, but you just didn't do it, I hope one of these reasons encourages you to take the leap and open a bank account. It's very simple. And I hope you'll do that immediately, very, very soon. So that wraps this up, and I will see you next week. Coming to you every single week, specifically for hairstylists and barbers who are self-employed. As you all know, I mentioned before, I used to own a hair salon. I don't do hair. I've never done hair. I majored in economics and I studied tax law. I'm licensed in tax preparation. But one thing that I noticed after when I had my hair salon, working next door in my shopping center, there was a barber shop and a hair salon that ran the booth rental model. And, they were all self-employed. And I think for them, they had never seen a hair salon where the girls were getting paid salary, and I had never owned a hair salon, and all of my experiences are in Dominican hair salons. So that's the way Dominican hair salons were set up. And so they were like, this is odd. And I was looking at them like, this is odd that you're, self-employed. So a lot of what I learned just in college and having owned a few other businesses, I knew, how to, like my favorite part was the finances. And after I sold my hair salon, some of my girls went on to booth rent and open up their own salon suites. I think they saw the barbers and the hairstylists in that shopping center doing it for themselves, making their own money. And they were like, we want to do this too. And I encouraged it. I think it makes a lot of sense. I love that business model where hair professionals are working for themselves, but along with working for yourself comes with other responsibilities. And one of them is the accounting piece, the financial piece, the tax piece, and it can become really confusing. So that's when I transitioned and started helping independent and self-employed hairstylists and barbers really navigate the financial world, the tax world, the business world of doing hair. So that's why I have this channel. So I'm going to be coming to you every single week with something different. I have topics, but if you have any topics that you want me to touch on, please feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will see you next time.